Hi everyone and welcome. Um, I thought it was important to do a summary video showing you how everything I already talked about fits together, give you some context. And then the video came out like 45 minutes long of me talking and drawing, which is, I think, a bit too much. So I broke it into two videos. This is the first one. The second one is coming up in 2 days. Um, Even if you didn't watch the original videos, this one will give you a good idea and notion about what they were about. But go watch them just in case. And let me know if you have any questions, if you want me to go over some of your work and react to that. I'd love to. And I'll see you in a second. Thank you. So let's connect some dots. So the first two lessons I put up were about the power of shapes. This is like the basics of the basics of character design, understanding that shapes have power, psychological power over our viewer, and if we use them right, then we can convey information much faster. So round shapes usually say soft and safe and cute and cuddly, especially if it's a character and we make big ears, big eyes at the bottom of the head, large pupils, and a tiny nose and mouth. These are baby proportions and will make the character, regardless of what it is, to look cuter. Rectangular shapes are solid, are safe, usually, strong-headed, stubborn, perhaps. These can be good for tough characters and stuff like that. So if we make a rectangular character, then they will look, I don't know, they don't look kind. They kind of look, the blockiness makes them look like very powerful and solid physically. Later I'm going to draw the Incredible Hulk with these shapes. It really helps. And sharp shapes usually convey danger and or speed. So if you want to make something look dangerous, that's why we usually use them for like bad guys, then we should make sure to find areas where we can put in sharper shapes. Now these characters use only one shape. I'm like trying to prove a point here, so I'm drawing it like I'm using the shapes way too much, perhaps, just to prove to you how it makes the character looks. Like, it's the devil. Okay, so here are three faces, each made with different shapes. Obviously, let's do it with rhinos, which is admittedly a sentence I don't use very often, but let's do it with rhinos. So here is a rhino made out of round shapes, and he's going to look very non-threatening. I'm going to give him like a small body. He's going to look like a baby. Big eye. And extremely non-threatening. Okay, here is a rectangular rhino. I'm actually going to use a rectangle for the horn to make it look broken, which will add to his toughness. I'm going to make sure his jaw is jutting out, which will make him look very tough. And he will look angry. And while it doesn't look like very evil, he does look like a rhino you do not want to mess with. Hopefully you'll agree. And if we're going with the rectangular and sharp rhino, then this is definitely a rhino you do not want to mess with. And it has everything that makes the rectangular menacing, only more so. So everything about this rhino screams it's dangerous, and keep clear. Okay, so that's rhinos. Let's see how it works with items, and then we'll do body types. So here is a round potion. If there are dangerous potions and I use a rectangle, then this will be pretty much immediately the go-to potion to use, even if the character does not recognize the color or something like that. If it's a sword, then I'll give it a broad angle at the tip, just to make it look less sharp. And here we go. Oh, don't see all of it. Here it is. And here's a shield. Here's a knightly shield, even though it's more of a sharp shape. I'm going to make the tip very rounded so it doesn't look threatening. And even an axe, if I'm rounding the angles, will look pretty safe for an axe. Okay, so let's make it sharp, the sharp versions. So I'm going to make the neck of the bottle very, very thin, and the bottom rectangle, and immediately it will look less appetizing. Sword, let's do something like this. Okay, and obviously to make it more evil, I'm gonna cheat a little and make the guard look like a bat wing, just to make sure people understand that it's evil. In case it wasn't clear. So very, very dangerous sword. For a shield, I'm gonna do this. This makes it look like a shield and a weapon. With maybe a dragon here or something. And the axe, again, I can just give it a spike here. This will be enough to make it look more threatening. This is like a throwing axe by the angle of the handle. And it looks like a very bad axe to get hit by. Okay, so this is point to point, making things look more evil and dangerous at least. And obviously, as a designer, you need to be aware of it. Okay, like a blocky axe. Looks like a dwarven axe because dwarves are like sturdy and stubborn and all these rectangular elements that fit them so well. Okay, so here's a rectangle to make it look a bit more dangerous. And even if you look at Lord of the Rings, I think you'll find that dwarven shields are rectangular, hexagonal, and it really, really fits their character. Okay, and obviously hammers, war hammers and stuff like that. Okay, so these were the first two lessons. Feel free to watch them for some more. I think I don't use rhinos there, I use dragons maybe. I hope, if not, I'll make dragons. Then we talked about the face. And again, I can draw, it was faces and facial expressions. Again, I can use the shapes to give characters, to make characters more apparent, give myself a break, make my work easier. And let's do a face like this. Okay, so this is not the natural face. I talked about the natural face. I'll do it like very, very fast soon. But when I want to draw a character, I need to, first of all, decide what kind of shape will define it better. Is it someone who's stubborn, who's nasty, who's like really, really nice? So really, really nice would be a round shape. Someone who's stubborn and set in his ways. And you can watch the movie Up from Pixar for a very good example for that. Is going to be rectangular. And someone who's like very, very like dangerous looking or fast is going to be a rectangular. A triangle, sorry. So, and then I have to decide which facial feature is the one I want to pronounce, okay? So if this is like a smart guy, then I will make the eyes just under the middle, and to give it a big forehead. The ears are always at the same height of the eyes, and I'm going to draw a small mouth, small chin, and a double chin here. And I'm going to make it into glasses, and I'm going to make huge irises, as if as to show how much the glasses are like subscription glasses to the max subscription. 2 small eyebrows, maybe some lines on the forehead, maybe some hair on the sides. And here's like a smart-ish character. Why? Because the forehead is high. This is someone with high cheekbones. So I'm going to make a nose that points up. And again, all these features are explained in more details in the appropriate video. Feel free to watch it. Half closed eyes with some very, very pronounced eyelashes and very exaggerated lips. And this blocky lady, kind of manly because of the very, very strong chin. Maybe one of these, and very, very painted eyebrows. Eyes are half closed because she's like very, very nonchalant. And when I draw hair, practically every hairdo starts from one ear, the top of one ear, somehow obscures the baldness in the middle, and then comes back to this part. So because she's a rectangular, I'm gonna give her like a sort of a bit of a Frankenstein's monster haircut, maybe a comic book Terminator. Maybe she is a Terminator. Let's make her a Terminator. So very, very thick neck, and imagine her talking in a thick Austrian accent, and I think it works pretty well. So here I'm going to make the mouth the main piece. It's going to be like a Hulkish face. I think I drew one in the actual video as well, pretty sure. And because the Hulk is very stubborn and very set in his ways, especially the Mad Hulk, because he's extremely powerful physically and immovable, unmovable, then, and usually rage is best shown by screaming or yelling or gritting your teeth, then this is what I'll do. This is like a manga mouth of rage. That's how they draw it. Small ears. And again, huge neck. And there we go. And this guy, I'm going to give him a large nose. So and again, this might be very over-the-top cartoonish, but when you can draw these simplish characters, like you know what kind of a character you want to create, and then you're able to create it on the page, give it some literal character, making it look like it has, well, character, and then you're on your way, because the professionals draw with purpose. They know what kind of an effect they're trying to get, and they have an entire plan on how to get there. So we did the devil before. Let's this time do let's do an important comic book icon, a villain obviously. I do hope it's obvious who this is. Okay. Hooray for bat villains, they're my favorite. And this one is kind of like the opposite in character from this one. If this one has a large forehead, then this one has a very, very small one. So let's make him look maybe because now I have a big space for the mouth. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to make him look upwards and have the mouth a bit open. And the eyebrows will be sad, which will make him look fearful. So here's another character. Okay, so this is like faces and characters based on shapes. Let's see how it works with body types. Okay, oh, sorry. First of all, I want to make like a quick facial sketch in a more realistic, in the realistic method. Okay, so I drew like an upside down egg, because just like an egg, most human faces, unless very, very obese, will have the chin much tighter, I guess, than the top of the skull, narrower, that's the word. So I draw a line in the middle, I'll explain immediately for what, and another line in the middle from the middle of the top of the head and the chin. The line that goes from top to bottom is so I'll be able to draw both sides of the faces. It'll make it easier to draw the eyes and nose the same distance from the center of the face. So the eyes are actually in the center, like the quarter of the face from the front will go through the eye. So quarter, I mean, so I draw them from the same distance from the middle. The iris will be only two-thirds to three-quarters visible, and usually when that's the case, the pupil is really glued to the top of the eye. The distance between the both eyes is another eye, so you can kind of like check it out. And from the middle of the face, which is the height of the eyes, to the bottom of the face, that's where the nose will be. And the wide width of the nose is exactly the distance between the eyes. So again, check it out in the mirror, look at your face. And the ears start from the height of the eyes, go a bit upward, and then down towards the nose. And the width of the, first of all, the height of the mouth is just above the halfway between the nose and the chin. So something like this. And its width is never more than mid-eye to mid-eye. The bottom lip is almost always thicker than the topper one. And which have like folds underneath and above the eye, which is the eyelids. Eyebrows can take many shapes and forms. And all of them will obviously affect the character and how we perceive it. If it was like a woman with extremely thick eyebrows, then that's a statement we as designers make about this character. And again, the hair, it'll be easier to show here. So let's give this character long hair. So I start from here, and I do something like this. And then the hair gives more volume, and you can draw a strand of hair here or here. And the neck starts from behind the eyes on the jawline, but it's usually visible from only down here. Think the two most farthest points of the eyes, underneath it were, and that's the neck, something like that. And we need to remember that this is hair as well, because the hair falls from behind the head. And that's pretty much it. If you want to shade, then the top lip is always shaded because it faces away from the light, which usually comes from top. And here we go. So is she pretty? No, but it kind of looks like a face, which was the point. Okay, so body types and anatomy. We'll do that in the second video.